This is Star, and welcome to the first cloth sim for novices. Let me get rid of that. I'm going to start by sharing with you my workflow for simming cloth that is too thick to sim. Does that make any sense? It probably doesn't. But let's say you've modeled a character, or somebody's modeled a character, and they've modeled the cloth, and the cloth is really thick, and it's impossible to sim. If you try to sim it, if you apply nCloth to it, and try to sim it, your computer will explode. So what do you do when you need to sim cloth that's not simmable? Well, this is my personal workflow, and I hope it helps you with your personal projects. Say this is your really thick cloth that is impossible to sim. Well, you can create a low-res mesh based on this shape, which I have done here, and sim this, and I'll show you what to do with this after we've gotten this to work. So this is your low-res mesh. Let's go ahead and go to our nDynamics menu set. If you're using 2008, this will say nCloth. Click that and go to nMesh. Again, if you're using 2008, this will say nCloth. And create nCloth. So this is nCloth now. And let's name this node flag cloth, because I don't like seeing nRigid there. You know, there'll be a million of them there by the time you're finished the scene. It's nice to know what that belongs to. Let's name this then flag geo. So we created our flag, and it's perfect, right? Nope. It falls into infinity. So how do we stop that from falling? Let's constrain it to the pole. That's a good idea. So hit F9 to be able to select your vertices. Right click object mode. You don't have to do that, but I do. Shift select your staff and go to end constraint, and to make the flag stay, you can either use the transform constraint, or the point to surface constraint. I'll use point to surface. Feel free to use transform. For this project, it doesn't really make much difference. And let's name this, which is our staff collision object. Let's say collide, because I'm too lazy to type collision object. And this is our flag to staff constraint. So here's our cloth. And is that set to collide? Yes. If you hit play, then it will fall. Now, how is this moving like this? We haven't touched anything. Well, I cheated and did it beforehand. These are my settings for the gravity and wind. Air density, I set to 3, and wind speed, I set to 14. I didn't change anything else here in the nucleus. And the flat cloth shape, I haven't touched anything here either. I could probably adjust the stretch a little bit. And the mass, I probably won't touch it, because that's not what this tutorial is about. I guess you've sort of got half of a tutorial along with this wrap deformer tutorial. You're welcome. But let's pretend that this cloth is perfect. It's amazing. It's what we wanted to do with this flag. After you cache this, then disable your cloth so it's not calculating in the background. I'm not going to do that here. I should, but I'm not. And make sure that your high-res cloth is where it's supposed to be, you know, in the starting position, frame 1. Ours is. Select the thing that you want to be deformed, which is your final thick cloth. and select the thing that's doing the deforming, which is our cloth that we just simmed. And in your animation menu set, go to Create Deformer Wrap. And I like to name this too. I name everything, and you should too. Flag, oops, flag wrap. And let's see what happens. Our thick cloth now moves just like our simmed cloth did. Isn't that amazing? So yes, if you're working on a small project and you have really thick cloth that you need to have simmed, create a low-res object based on your thick cloth, sim this, and have this influenced, have your thick mesh influenced by your low-res mesh, and you'll get pretty nice results. What are the practical applications of this? Can this be used in an actual shot? Yes. And I'll show you one that I did. This is actually the first shot I ever did cloth sim on, so be nice. Don't laugh at me. Hit L to loop. I had no idea that you could hit L to loop VLC until today. It's really cool. But look, this cloth was modeled really thick, so we used wrap deformers to influence all of these meshes. And I think it works pretty well. Later on we'll get into how to do cloth sim for an actual animated shot, how to set up your cloth rigs, things like that. But I thought we'd test the waters with something this simple. So I hope through my ramblings you got something from this, and I hope in the future you can use this in a project and get pretty good results. I did. Thanks for listening, and I hope you have a good day. Bye.